Hey, good morning, guys. It's Ethan here, back with another video. Today's video is going to be a 20-minute stretch routine, upper body. It's great for beginners or for anybody who doesn't have a lot of time on their hands and wants to get a stretch in, either pre or post workout, or even just in general. So, like I said before, this is a targeted upper body stretch routine. I'm going to be training back later today, so this is a stretch routine I put together to prepare myself for that. So you're going to start with this stretch where your feet are together or shoulder width apart, whatever is more comfortable for you, and you're going to reach up at the sky and slowly come down and try and reach for your toes. The key with stretching is to not overdo it. Less is definitely more when it comes to stretching, in my opinion. The whole point of stretching is to improve mobility and to avoid injury in a workout. So if you stretch to the point where you injure yourself, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of stretching in the first place. So you're going to reach as far as you can. You want it to be just a little bit uncomfortable, and you're going to breathe through the stretch. The key is one of the basic principles in yoga is relaxing through discomfort. So if you're stretching to the point where you find it difficult to take a deep breath because you're afraid that you're going to pull something or it's painful, then you're stretching too much. Now you're going to take a stick. You're going to prop it behind your shoulder blades and kind of, manipulate it with your arms. If you're not flexible enough to use a stick, you could use a resistance band or maybe a towel or a blanket. I'm putting a yoga mat down just so I have more traction on the floor, because I find that, I don't know if it's just the shoes that I'm wearing, but I have a tendency for my feet to twist. And you want to have your feet firmly anchored so that the targeted area of the stretch is actually activated. So I'm going to twist for 30 reps, really feeling it in that lower back. You want to try not to swivel your hips too much. You can see I'm doing that a little bit here. Okay, this next stretch is a shoulder stretch. You want to take the stick, grip it at the top with one hand, and place it behind your arm, that same arm, in the middle of your arm, between your elbow and your shoulder. And with the other hand, you're gonna, in an underhand position, grab the bar as high up as you can, and you're gonna slowly push upwards. And that's gonna drive your arm that's holding the bar at the top and your shoulder back. And it's gonna provide a nice, fairly intense stretch. Again, you wanna be gentle with yourself. There's no real goal as far as what's considered a good or bad stretch. Like, everybody, as far as range of motion is concerned, everybody's gonna have a different range of motion, and it's not about achieving a objective good range of motion. It's about whatever is pushing you a little past your comfort zone. That's what's going to give you the best results and avoid injury. So now I'm doing it with the other side. I have it again behind the arm, in between the elbow and the shoulder, and with the opposite hand, I'm gently pushing up. You can see the bars in the center of my upper arm. and this is a great stretch for the shoulder. It is an intense stretch, so be gentle with yourself, and don't try and grip the bar too high if it's not comfortable for you or if it's painful. Okay, now we're gonna do another shoulder stretch, and this is gonna stretch the shoulder in the opposite way of what we just did. And this is where having a yoga mat comes in handy. You don't need to use a yoga mat. You could use a blanket or a towel, whatever you have on hand to provide some cushioning. Or if that doesn't bother you, you could just lie directly on the floor. So I'm lying on my side, and I have one arm, my upper arm, out in front of me, and my elbow is turned at a 90-degree angle, and I'm gently pushing it down towards the mat. I'm using the other hand to gently push down, and you'll notice my hand is placed below the wrist joint. You don't want to have your hand on the wrist joint. You want it slightly under, and you're going to gently push down and try and push that hand towards the mat. And this is going to give us a good stretch in the shoulder, like I said before, in the opposite direction of what we just did. And I like doing both of these because I feel like it gives me a well-rounded and balanced stretch in the shoulder. Now you can see afterwards I'm just shaking it out, getting the blood flowing a little bit. And something that I didn't mention before is you never really want to go into a stretch routine cold. So for example, here I've just come out of a hot shower, so the blood is pumping. I don't really feel stiff. I feel like if you're cold, if you've been sitting in a cold room or you woke up cold, it's a good idea to warm up a little bit before you stretch. So now I'm just doing it with the opposite arm, gently pushing towards the mat. Okay, and now I'm shaking out this side. Just, moving that shoulder around. Okay, now we're going to do some neck stretches. So you want to stand with your feet together or shoulder width apart, whatever is more comfortable for you. Grab one side of your head, stand up straight, grab one side of your head, and gently pull it down towards the side. And with the opposite arm, you're going to let that arm hang and slowly reach for your knee. You don't need to touch your knee, but you want it to be kind of hanging and reaching for your knee. And you'll feel a stretch in the side of your neck and in your trap. And this is one that you kind of want to be gentle with. A lot of us live stressful lives, and we tend to carry a lot of stress in our neck, shoulders, traps. So just be conscious of the fact that you might have very tense muscles in this area, and therefore you want to be gentle when you first start these stretches. Now we're doing the other side. Hold for 30 seconds. And that's something I forgot to mention, is that all these stretches are being held for 30 seconds. And that contributes to the 20-minute range of this stretch routine. Now we're doing a front of the neck stretch, And you'll see I'm standing with my feet together or shoulder width apart, standing up straight, shoulders back. And I'm looking up at the sky. My head's bent backwards, and I'm gently stretching out the front of my neck. Okay, now I'm gonna do 15 rotations in one direction. And this is just to, kind of work out all the kinks in the neck. Relax the shoulders a little bit. You can see I'm very loosey-goosey, and that's like kind of the idea of stretching, at least the way I see it. Stretching should be relaxing, and yes, there is some discomfort in that we're, gently pushing past our limits, but it's definitely not supposed to be an extremely painful or strenuous activity, at least the way I see it. Okay, so now we're gonna do a stretch. I'm not sure what this one's called, but I believe it targets the shoulder, and it feels like it targets a little bit the tricep and the chest as well, maybe even the bicep. But you're gonna take one arm and you're gonna lay it over your chest straight, have it straight out, and with the other arm you're gonna kind of come in and hug the other arm and press gently towards your chest so that you can feel the stretch. This is a nice, easy stretch. Okay, now we're gonna stretch the tricep, which is an important stretch, especially if you're training upper body, back or chest. A very common site for injuries, especially when doing lat pull downs, is that tricep area that kind of attaches into the armpit or the back area. So you're gonna take one arm and place it behind your head and reach for the middle of your back. And with the other arm, you're gonna grab the elbow or a little bit above the elbow, whatever's comfortable for you. And you're gonna pull towards the other side. Now I'm doing the other side, as you can see. And this is a really good stretch for stretching out the tricep. And that's really gonna prevent strains and injuries once we get to the workout. Now I normally do this directly after my other shoulder stretches. I just forgot to do it before, so these are just shoulder rotations, kind of like you're doing what's that type of swimming called? The backstroke. I'm just like got my arm very loose and just very gently, but also with some momentum, doing reverse circles with my arm. And you might feel some popping or some clicking, and I think that's pretty normal considering a lot of us have shoulder issues. So now I'm gonna finish up with rolling out my back a little bit. This part's optional. I just like to do it because it feels good. And that's it for this 20-minute stretch routine. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, found it useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.